welcome to a very exciting episode here at the MIgardener channel. I am Mrs. MIgardener, and today we're going to start the Back to Basics series. So we're just going to be learning along with me, and Luke, of course, is going to teach us along the way all of the basic steps to gardening. So I have no clue what he's going to teach me today, so I'm going to hand it over to him so he can go ahead and fill us in.
All right, so in today's episode, we're going to talk about plotting the garden. And before we get talking about plotting the garden, I just wanted to preface this series by saying it's going to be 3 to 5 minutes every video. Maybe not this video because it's the starting, but every video after it's going to be hopefully 3 to 5 minutes. So it's really short, easy to watch, and we're just going to break down gardening information into bite-sized pieces so that you are not overwhelmed. So in this episode we're going to talk about plotting your garden and how important it is, because just because you have a place to put a garden doesn't mean it's going to be a good place for a garden. So ideally we would not want to have any beds already done. So if you're going to build beds, wait to do this step first. So this step right here is already done by me, and I'm going to explain to you why I chose this layout for our beds and the location that I did through this really simple tip. So I call this mapping the garden because it's something that you need to do first in order to guarantee success. If you don't map the garden first, you never are going to know how much sunlight your garden gets, which, as hopefully you know, is the most important thing to having a successful garden. So let's go and let's get into it. All right, so we are at one corner of the garden, and I always suggest starting with something that has corners, like a square. So whether you start with one bed or 20 beds, you're still going to have 4 corners of your garden. And it's just very easy to map that way. So what you want to do is you want to map the sunlight, because mapping the sunlight will basically give you a guaranteed amount of sun. Because if you just look out and say, I think the sun rises at 7:30, the sun rises at 7:30 and sun sets at, let's say, 7:30, you're going to have sun throughout that entire day, but whether or not this location specifically is getting sun is going to be an unknown factor. And so I really like to use plastic cups, and what I'll do is I'll go out in the morning and I will look at which corner gets sun first. So this corner actually gets sun the first because our house kind of blocks some of the garden in the morning. So we get sun here at 7:30. So we're gonna take our Sharpie, which I don't have on me, but let's pretend we have a Sharpie. So we're gonna write 7:30 a.m. on this cup. Then we're going to look for which other parts of the garden get sun, and we're going to write the time, pop it in that corner. And so once we have all 4 corners covered, you essentially have guaranteed morning sun. And so morning sun is good. Afternoon sun is great. Evening sun is great as well. So what you ideally want to have is sun through all 3 parts of the day. Because if you have sun in the morning but not in the afternoon and evening, you're not going to have enough sun.
So we're measuring direct sunlight, right?
Right.
That's what we find in the seed packet says direct sunlight.
Absolutely. So you're measuring direct sunlight. Okay. So you want to see if this cup ever goes into a shadow. Because if it goes into a shadow, you're going to obviously not have any sun on this part of the garden. Okay. So remember, this cup has 7:30, and then we'll measure all the other cups that have sun, and then we're going to go out at dusk when the sun starts setting and do the reverse. So since the sun is setting, this cup will be the first cup to have a shadow, presumably. It might be different a little bit, but this cup should have this shade the first, and in fact it is, because we have this fence now that's blocking us. But even so, the corner that gets sun first is typically the corner that leaves the sun first as well. So then we're going to write the time that the sun leaves this spot, and then we can simply look at how many hours of sunlight we have.
Okay.
Now I've gone and done that. We have about 10.5 hours of sun in peak season. It's going to differ based on the time of season. So in spring, a really good measure is about 6.5 to 7 hours of sun, because as the angle of the sun changes, it's going to be more direct, and you're going to have longer, you're going to have longer periods of sun as well. So we're looking at, in peak season, around 10.5 hours, which is great. And so that's really it. That's how you map out your garden. Because I think a lot of people, they just assume, and assumption is never good, because you might only be getting 4 hours of sun when you think you're getting like 7. And I would hate for people to build, all these raised beds and have it be in a poor location, because then not only you've wasted the money, but you wasted an incredible amount of time in resources that won't grow a garden at all.
I know you've mentioned before Also, like, for example, if this was more shadowy, you would grow more like lettuce, and whatever needed more sun would go over there.
Absolutely.
So that also kind of, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So let's say this part of the garden we found out only got about 4 hours of sun, but other parts of the garden got about 8. That's not a bad thing. I actually like that, and so that allows you to grow different crops in different parts of the garden, and it also helps you to understand which crops will do better in different parts of the garden. So if your whole garden's getting maybe about 5 hours of sun, tomatoes might not be your thing, but lettuce is going to be wonderful. But if, let's say, just this one bed gets about 5 hours of sun and the rest of the bed gets about 7 hours of sun, I'll designate this bed to exclusively greens, which do great in low light conditions. And that just really helps you kind of get a better visual and really visualize how much sun your garden is getting. So, do you have any other questions?
Nope. I think it's pretty easy and understanding to the importance of doing this step to really make sure you're going to be growing the correct things. And
yeah, and one more thing I did want to point out too is that since we're doing this in the springtime, it's important to look up, because if you look up above you, you'll see there's actually a tree in dormancy.
Oh,
and so those trees won't be dormant for long. They're going to have leaves on them, so you want to take that into account as well,
right,
and understand that will have some play in how much sun your garden gets, which I think is also important. So yeah, but that's really it for mapping your garden. If you don't have any more questions, I think that
we're done.
I think we're done for this episode. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Make sure to stay tuned for next episode. We're going to be walking Cindy through how to pick the right seeds for her garden, our garden, but we're going to be showing you how to pick the right seeds for your garden, and to not overbuy, because I know that.
No, I want them all.
That's one thing you did when you first started gardening.
Oh yeah. So guilty.
I think everybody does it. We overbuy, and so that's gonna be next episode. Back to basics is selecting the right type of seed for your garden, and selecting the right seeds for your garden, and we'll kind of bring in some components from this episode into the next episode. So make sure you map your garden, and definitely grow along with us, learn along with us. So after you map your garden, you want to just take that information. It's going to lead into the next episode, which is going to be selecting the right type of seed for your garden. So that's going to help out a lot.
Yep. So I'm really excited for the next episode. It definitely is one that I will enjoy.
All right. Hey, as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, along with Mrs. MIgardener. Hopefully you all are going to enjoy this series, and I'm really excited about it. So awesome. We'll catch y'all later. See ya. Bye.